Guys, Deavan from 90 Day Fiance just announced that she had her new baby, but that wasn't the only news that Deavan had to share. Unfortunately, her other news wasn't anywhere near as happy, and you'll never believe, guys, what it was. So Deavan just announced that she had her new baby in October, and this was actually her third child, and Deavan already has her daughter Drusilla from one of her previous relationships, and Drusilla is now 5 years old, and Deavan also has her son Taeyoung, who she had with her ex-husband Jihoon, and her new baby, who she's been calling Baby Park. And Deavan and her current boyfriend Topher Park made the pregnancy announcement way back in May of 2022, and this was about a year after Deavan tragically suffered a miscarriage, but this time things had a happy ending. So Deavan announced that her first child with Topher was healthy and doing well, and she apparently had a C-section, and it seems like everything's worked out pretty well for them so far. And Deavan said that, they were all just enjoying their time together with their new bundle of joy, and that they thanked everyone for respecting their privacy during this time. And this happy news is obviously what Deavan really needed right now, because she's been through a lot recently. So she's been very open about her son Taeyoung's illness, and it must have been especially hard for her to deal with it while she was also pregnant. And Taeyoung has childhood cancer, and he was diagnosed with B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and this was a type of blood cancer that is more common in young children. And Deavan found out about this diagnosis in May, which was around the same time she first announced her pregnancy. And since then she's been very open about this terrifying experience, and I can't even begin to imagine what she's been going through. And recently Deavan actually shared a devastating update about Taeyoung and his health, and this sad thing actually happened on her birthday, which was just recently on November 15th. And the fact that it was her birthday probably just made everything that much worse. So Deavan posted an update to her Instagram stories, and she shared a photo of her son and announced that it was her 26th birthday that day. And she then said that instead of celebrating, they spent the entire day at the hospital, and this was because Taeyoung actually needed to get an emergency blood transfusion, which must have been absolutely terrifying. And I feel like at this point it probably didn't even matter that it was her birthday anymore, because she was probably just so scared for Taeyoung to even think about it. And Deavan said that this was yet another reminder of how scary cancer can be, and then she said something which I thought was just really sweet, and she said that she was just happy that she got to spend the day with Taeyoung. And like I said, it's really adorable, but it's also just really sad. I'm always hoping that there will be more good news when it comes to Taeyoung, because this is just an overall horrible situation that no one deserves to be in, especially not such a young child. But luckily, there was something good that happened on Deavan's birthday. So her mom, Alicia, later took to her Instagram, and she shared another update about the day, and she said that Taeyoung's transfusion went well, and then she added that the day was hard but good, and she even included some smiling emojis, which made me think that they were all probably just super relieved that it all turned out well at the end of the day. And Alicia's post actually also included a photo that kind of made me smile. So in it was a birthday cake with 26 lit candles, so it seems like they got to celebrate Deavan's birthday after all, which is honestly great. And at least she got to be a little happy towards the end of the day. And this actually wasn't the first time when a day that was supposed to be happy turned out to be kind of sad for their family, because Deavan also opened up about their struggles on Halloween, and yet again it was just incredibly devastating to hear. So Deavan took to her stories and wrote that Taeyoung loves Halloween, and apparently he always looks forward to dressing up, which is honestly so adorable. And he's a small kid, of course he loves dressing up, but this actually made the whole story even sadder, because Deavan's update wasn't about the happy family time that they got to spend together on Halloween, and it wasn't a photo of Taeyoung trick-or-treating. Deavan said that sadly Taeyoung was down for the count. Basically, he was just too sick to participate in Halloween this year, and they couldn't do any of the really fun stuff that he had, apparently just loves doing. And Deavan said that this whole thing made her really sad, but she still somehow managed to keep her spirits up, because, she then added that she and Taeyoung would still be handing out candy together, and I think that's honestly just lovely. And it's clear that she's doing all she can to make this easier on her son, and the whole family seems to be trying to stay positive. And, I really think that's just so important in times like these. And I mean, we obviously all wish that this wasn't the case for them at all and that they didn't have to do any of this. And I think it's safe to say that we're all hoping for Taeyoung's recovery, but I still believe that the fact that, Deavan has been doing so much to make sure that her son is okay and happy is just amazing. And I can't even imagine how difficult this must be on her, especially with the new baby that just joined their little family. But luckily, she has Topher and her mom to help her out, and she's obviously, has a lot of support online as well, and many people, have been especially appreciative of her sharing all the updates about Taeyoung, and it's clear that this has helped a lot of people who might be going through the same thing, and this is obviously an extremely difficult situation to be in, and I think it helps to know that you're not alone, and that other people might be going through the exact same thing. And when Deavan first shared the devastating news about Taeyoung's health, I was honestly just extremely shocked and upset, and it apparently took several trips to the ER for the doctors to actually figure out what was even wrong, which, couldn't have been easy either. And all that anxiety and anticipation must have been terrible, and although I'm not sure that getting the diagnosis was any better, but after all those trips to the hospital, Deavan was told by a specialist that Taeyoung had cancer cells, and that's when the nightmare really began. And what was even more devastating was that this whole thing came just a couple of months after Taeyoung celebrated his 3rd birthday, and they were probably so happy, and then they got the horrible news not so long after. And with Deavan being pregnant too, I just can't imagine how she handled all that, especially considering that, she was probably just stressed about the whole pregnancy even before this, and since she had a miscarriage just 1 year before that, and I just feel like this is almost too much for one person or even one family to handle. And still, it seems like they all have hope, and I think that's probably what's most important right now. And it seems like Taeyoung's treatment actually has a high success rate of full recovery in the next 5 years, which is definitely at least some comfort that they can all find in such a horrible situation. But either way, I have to say that I honestly kind of admire Deavan, and I feel like she's handled this whole thing exceptionally well, and I only wish her and her family the best. But what do you guys think? Did you know that Deavan and Topher just had a baby? And are you following Deavan's updates about Taeyoung? Guys, let me know in the comments down below.